Hello everyone, this is In-Game Arts with another unboxing, another offline product game review. This is Pocky and Rocky Reshrined for the PlayStation 4. To jump right into it, if you notice they are doing things a little bit different on this video, that is that I am covering both the US and the Japan version of this game. The reason why that is that both games, though mechanically all work both the same, are in close identical to the same. Instead of making two dedicated videos for the same game, I figured I just can group it all together so you can see the differences in terms about both of them, where the only difference is that the US version is censored compared to the Japan version. But through this, I did discover that no one mentioned that the Japan version actually comes with the update version 1.01 right on the disc, while the US version is only the vanilla version, which is 1.0. Now I'm going to go a little bit more details about this, but I don't know instinctively what's the difference. I can't read Japanese, so I don't know exactly what it's saying that is fixing or what that update is. But just to get some clarification, the Japan version takes up 526 megabytes on the disc. That's how much data it takes up, and it has the version 1.01 right on the disc. But it does have an update. This update is 140 megabytes big and will take you to version 1.03. So that's a significant size update for such a smaller game. Now the US version takes up 381 megabytes, and the version on the disc is the vanilla 1.0. So clearly my mind is thinking, well, the Japan version is more up-to-date than the US version physically on disc. But oddly, the US version only has an update size of 52 megabytes and will take you to version 1.01 since the time of making this video of both the Japan and US version. So it's kind of hard to know whether the US version is technically more up-to-date on disc, it's just less room take up, or there's something more on the Japan version. I'm not entirely sure, but the biggest difference that people are going to let you know is that the Japan version is uncensored while the US version is censored. You saw during the breaking down part of the video, I showed you both versions and variation of what's the difference between them. Now these are not gameplay mechanically different. They're not going to affect the game or anything like that. But if you're someone who is a purist or somebody who's, like me, highly against censorship, you're going to want to get the Japan version. Now, the problem is, I'm not ultimately against what they changed. I think that actually the outfit the US version has does look nice for the character. I'm just bothered with the fact they didn't include this as an option for those who want to play it that way. If you want the game to be censored or not. Options is never a bad thing. Now, gameplay-wise, Pocky and Rocky Reshrined is a remaster of a classic Super Nintendo game. And in the game, I did play as an emulation to figure it out that I discovered from that, and once I heard that they were going to do a remaster like this, I had to pick it up. Now, this is not just a straight-up copy-paste remaster. They definitely added more characters, gameplay mechanics, and stuff like that. The overall experience is a lot smoother. The gameplay style is much more stylized. It's very well done as a remaster for such a classic niche game that a lot of people may not be aware that even exists. It is a shoot-'em-up style game, which is not my taste of games, but I do appreciate how cutesy, the artistic style, the sprite graphics, and so on. Basically, you play as a shrine maiden who's got to try to defeat some demon king again, kind of demon thing uprising, affecting the monsters, and you have to try to save the world. Typical stuff. I won't go into details of what happens, but it's not a very long game. It took me about an hour and a half to beat the game. And the video you're watching is the Japan version of the game. I'm not going to really show you any of the US version because it's identical to what the Japan version in terms of gameplay video footage. So I'm just going to mostly show you the Japan version of the game. And the game does have multiplayer, but sadly the multiplayer is locked to the user until they beat the story mode, which is such a silly thing to do. The game definitely shows designs to be played with multiplayer, and it's very odd that you would lock it behind a beat it requirement for multiplayer. But thankfully, they did update the game to include the ability to unlock free play mode where you can play with 2 players, but this update is actually on the disc for both the US and Japan version. I will put the code down in the description in the video in case you pick up the game and you want to just unlock free play mode so you can play with your friend or family or loved one right at the start of the game. Then, like I said, it's down in the description if you want to unlock it. All you have to do is just go at the main menu of the game, past the start button, but at the main menu pick free play mode, story mode, and then you input the code. Again, it's down in the description if you want to use that. But I did enjoy the game. Now, there are problems that I have with the game. Now, I can't quite remember what the original was like, but there were some things that just annoyed me. Now, the game wasn't super hard or normal difficulty, but one of the dumb things again is that you cannot unlock easy mode unless you gather up 3,000 coins all together throughout the game. So basically they're treating like if you keep dying and gathering up coins, eventually you'll unlock easy mode for you. That should just be unlocked immediately at the beginning of the game. It does not affect gameplay if someone wants to play on a super easy mode. Just, again, I don't know why they locked that behind a special thing like that. But even on normal difficulty, the game does have pretty good forgiving checkpoints in the game. So, I mean, as long as you make sure you are like fighting the last boss of that area, and then you beat them, and you only got one extra guy left, just purposely die, and that way you get reset all your extra guys. I mean, there's some things you could do to make it easier. But the thing that also annoyed me was that you got different kind of talismans you can throw, and each one can be upgraded as you constantly find that same talisman. You kind of got like one that's like a follow-up power, one is your basic one, and you got a fire one, and every time you find one, it upgrades that ability. But if you accidentally pick up a different one, it can actually reset your power. I found that extremely annoying because there was several times I accidentally picked up one, even when I didn't feel like I was right by it or at all, and that's just really aggravating to have it completely reset my ability. It would be nice if it kept track of one, if you kept them like you kept switching between them, and it kept track of each one as it upgraded. But if you got hit, it drops it. I mean, I think would have worked out a lot better mechanically and be a little bit more rewarding in terms of trying to upgrade all the powers and have a max out ability. You could even have a setting for that, like if you get all of them to level 3, you get like God mode for a temporary time. You could have done something like that. But overall, I still enjoyed the game. But mostly this video is about the US version and the Japan version, which I'm sure most people are mostly concerned about. Now, I do also want to point out as bonus information, if you both have both the US and the Japan version, they are treated as two different games. So they are treated as that you can unlock trophies for both of them. They have their own separate trophy list. So in case you're a trophy hunter, you can pick up 2 of the same game and get 2 of the same trophies. So that's an option too if you are interested in that. In the end, it's still fun, even with the censored version. If you don't care, then you can just pick up the US version. It does not affect your game. It's still tons of fun for a simple enjoyment of its time. But if you are someone who cares about censorship and about the fact that it was a pointless, unnecessary censorship, or they should have just gave you the option if you wanted to play it in a censored way or uncensored way, then you might want to pick up the Japan version. It's the same thing. Now, granted, it could be more updated version of the game. That's the weird thing. I don't know. Maybe somebody in the comments could let me know or let us know what that Japan in the update history and what the download size and what it was, because we had to translate that, and I don't know Japanese. But in the end, I did play a little bit of a multiplayer. It's basically the same game in free play mode, and it was just a lot of fun to play around and mess around with this game. It's nothing super major, but it's still a neat little thing to have on your shelf if you're a physical collector like I am. So, like always, I will try to leave links down in the description. I will leave links both to the Japan version and the US version in this video. Now, please also keep in mind, this is almost like a rarity at a moment for me to cover both the US and Japan version at the same time. I can't guarantee I can do this for every single game that ever comes out if there are massive differences. I will try to go out of my way if there are some significant differences between them, but again, this is all a personal hobby of mine, a physical collecting. If I can afford it and do it at the time at the point of it comes out. So again, thank you all so much for watching these videos. I hope this video is helpful to you guys. Like always, I thank you all so much for watching. As I said, you can use the beginning of the video to see the differences between the censorship, as well as that if you're interested in unlocking free play mode, you can look down in the description. You can find the code and how to unlock free play mode right at the main menu of the game. So again, this video was a lot of fun. I did enjoy myself trying to see the differences and provide it for you guys. So again, thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next unboxing video. Bye bye.